In this video, I'll be talking about Data Exchange, a new solution from Autodesk that will make sharing files easier and better than ever before. Let's go! Autodesk Data Exchange is here, and let me show you how it will transform how you work in BIM. BIM is not just Revit, it's many different programs, even more stakeholders, and sharing files can often feel like a complete mess. Because we have so many proprietary file formats, sharing files often leads to data loss, errors due to files not being up to date, too much data being shared, and tons of inefficiencies. Data Exchange is here to solve all of these issues. Instead of sharing files, Data Exchange breaks your files down to granular data. Think of it as reducing a file to the element level and then reassembling it in other file formats. This approach opens up many new doors. This means that we can now link files where we previously needed to export and import each change. We can share only parts of the projects that are relevant instead of having to share heavy files with too much information. With Data Exchange, you have full control of who gets what data. It's all up to date and way more compatible than ever before. In this video, I will be showing you the step-by-step approach on how to set it up in Revit and Power BI and how to share data seamlessly. To learn more about Autodesk Data Exchange, click on the link in the cards above or down in the description of this video. And full disclosure, this is a sponsored video. Now, let's jump straight into Revit. And here we are in Revit. Now, before we start creating our first data exchange, I would like to show you just some of the settings that we have for this project. So this is our project 2 office building. We have this 3D staircase view, we have this 3D architecture view, 3D structure view, and just a regular kind of default working 3D view. Also, this model is published. So this is on the cloud and it's published, so that's also really important for the data exchange. So when creating data exchanges from Revit, we have two independent workflows. One is to publish Revit 3D views to docs and create a data exchange on the web. The second option is to use Data Exchange connector from Revit. In this case, the Revit file doesn't need to be published on the docs, it could be also saved locally. Then moving to the Collaborate tab, here we can find on the Share panel the Data Exchange button. Now this is in Revit 2026, so in your versions it's going to be over here. Also we need to make sure that for the publishing settings, all of these 3D views have been published, and as you can see, I have already completed that, and now we can create our first Data Exchange. So for that, I'm going to open up the 3D staircase, go to Data Exchange, and that's going to open up this window. Now here, I'm going to click on Create Exchange. Then we first need to name it. So I'm just going to delete this current view, then save to location in Docs. So I'm just going to pick a folder for that in Autodesk Docs. So I'm going to go with this one here. Project files, architecture, shared. There we go. So this is where the main file is. So I'm just going to select that one. Now here we can export rooms and spaces. I'm not going to check that. Then we have the view, which is this one, filter by. I'm going to set category, and then this is what we have. So now I can just click on Create Exchange, and now it's going to start creating that data exchange. Now, once this is done, here we have that data exchange, and then I can click on the three-dot menu, and here we have the View on Web button. So that's just going to open it up as a tab in the Autodesk Construction Cloud. I just need to log in, and here we can see that model published. So we can just view this on the web, which is really cool. Okay, so now if I exit out of here, and here I am at Docs. So what I can do next is I can find the same project, which is this one over here. I can open it up, and then we can see all of the published views for which we have already created the data exchange. And then let's do the same thing for structure 3D. Just click here, and then here we have that create data exchange. So we can do everything here on the cloud. So yeah, this is going to be saved to shared name. That's perfectly fine. Create exchange and it has been successfully created. Now we're going to be connecting our model with Data Exchange to Power BI. So for that, we do need to install a connector for Power BI. You can find that on the Autodesk App Store. I'm going to link that up in the cards above and then also down in the description of this video. So once we have that installed, we simply need to open up Power BI, go to get data from other sources, and then here I'm going to search for Autodesk. I'm going to pick the connector for Power BI and then click on Connect. Here I'm going to say continue. This will be a data exchange, and now we need a URL. Now we're going to go back here to ACC. I'm going to escape out of here and find the structure 3D data exchange. Open that up. Here I'm just going to go to the three-dot menu, and here we have share. So I'm just going to click on that, find links, and then here we have the structure 3D data exchange, and I'm just going to copy that link. Now I can minimize this window, paste that link here. For the advanced options, I'm just going to leave that blank for now, click OK, and now it's going to start loading that in. Now within the navigator, I'm just going to check on the structure 3D data exchange, and once we have the preview there, I'm just going to click on load. Now for visualizations, I'm just going to go to that panel here, click on the three-dot menu and get more visuals. Here in the search bar, I'm going to search for Autodesk, and then I'm going to click on the Autodesk data connector for Power BI viewer, and I'm just going to add this. It says import successful, which is great, so I'm just going to click OK now, and here it is. Now we have the Autodesk data connector for Power BI. When I click on this, it's going to give us just some basic information. Now I'm just going to go here to data and search for viewer, and I'm going to go with this one, and then we can just open it up over there. And now we have this really cool viewer where we can, well, view our building through that exchange. Now I'm also going to search for external element, and then I'm just going to drop that in here and here, just like so. Now I'm just going to create a pie chart over here, and for that pie chart, I'm going to search for category and drop that in here for the legend, and then let's search for external elements and drop that in here for values. So now we have that pie chart. Now what's really cool about this pie chart is that if you click on any of these categories here, it doesn't only show you like how many of those elements we have, but it also highlights that in the model itself, which is really cool. Now we're going to be creating a table, so I'm just going to find the table here in visualizations. Then I'm going to search for category, and I'm going to pick out the Revit category and drop that in here in the columns. Then let's search for type, like so, and then drag that here in the columns as well. And then finally, let's go with area and drop that in there too. And now we have the table that's going to include the Revit category, type, and area for these elements. Also, if we don't want to use the area, for example, we can go with volume. So I can search for that and then drop in the volume. So now it's going to give us the elements by volume, which is also cool. We can also filter this just by clicking on the pie chart that we have here, and then it's just going to display that in our table as well. Now let's take a look at how data exchanges can be created out of IFC files. So here we have an IFC file which I have uploaded. It's a very similar project to the one that we have been playing around with. And now I'm just going to be opening this up here in the Autodesk Construction Cloud, and you can see this is the project that we have. Now, if I go down here to the Data Exchange button, I can create a data exchange. Just one thing to mention here is that if this IFC has been uploaded before July 22nd of 2025, you might not be able to create a data exchange out of that. Now here, for this data exchange, I can select the categories or classes that I want to use. So I'm just going to go here with beams. I want to use columns. I want to use, let's find the stair and stair flight, also footing. And yeah, let's just stick with this for now. So once we have all of these elements kind of selected and filtered down, now I can create an exchange. So I'm just going to go here to create an exchange. We can define here where we want to save it to and which name we want to use. I'm fine with this, so I'm just going to click on Create Exchange, and now it's going to, well, create an exchange out of the categories that we have selected. Now, once this is done, I can go back here, and as you can see, the exchange is being created over here. But I actually want to open it up in Revit and show you the process of opening up data exchanges in Revit, and also what that looks like when we have that IFC data exchange. Click on New. I'm just going to start an empty project. And now I'm just going to navigate here to the Collaborate tab and click on Data Exchange. Now this is going to open up the Data Exchange menu. I can go here to Load Exchange, and that's going to open up the projects that we have here. And then this is the one that they have just created, the IFC Data Exchange. And then here for load options, if I go to this menu, we have some advanced load options. Here we can set up the origin, we can create group or import levels. So this is just stuff that you can specify. I'm just going to leave it like this and click on load. And now it's here, as you can see, among the loaded exchanges. Now I can just close out of here, and when I open up the 3D view, this is what we have. So as you can see, we have our data exchange, so all of the elements have been loaded in. If I select them, you can see that they have correct categories for everything, which is really good. This is exactly what we want to see. And of course, this approach now gives us a lot more flexibility and a lot more functionality as opposed to using just an IFC import. Really important, data exchange is available to everybody with an Autodesk Docs subscription. No other cost or subscription is involved. Now, we have only seen a few examples of how to use Data Exchange, and there are many other connectors besides Revit and Power BI. And there's actually a presentation where they talk about real-world use cases and provide more insight in an AU session that's also available on YouTube. I'm going to be leaving a link to that up in the cards above and also down in the description of this video, so you can check it out. And that's going to conclude this video on Autodesk Data Exchange. As I said in the beginning, if you want to check it out, learn more and test it out on your computer, check out the link up in the cards above and also down in the description of this video. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com, for more Revit courses. There I have over 120 hours of content, and I'm adding more each week. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and also I've added a video over there that might interest you as well.